name is Brianna and I'm a vegetarian. Today I'd like to tell you why I think that you should consider being a vegetarian as well. Every year in the United States, 26 billion farm animals are slaughtered for food. There are many reasons that people choose to be a vegetarian, and these include for the benefit of your health, for the environment, and also because of the cruelty to animals. When it comes to your health, vegetarians have been proven to have lower risk for things like heart disease, stroke, cancer, obesity, osteoporosis, and kidney disease. Also, a lot of meat eaters seem to wonder where vegetarians get their protein. There are many sources for protein, and these include things like soy, tofu, nuts, beans, lentils, peanut butter, lots of things like that. And actually, meat eaters tend to have too much protein, which can lead to less absorption of calcium and can lead to osteoporosis. They're also of concern sometimes is B12, which can be found in fortified cereals and soy milk, as well as flaxseed, which gives you your omega-3 fatty acids instead of having fish oil. On average, vegetarians tend to live 7 years longer than meat eaters. When it comes to the environment, those are some vegan bodybuilders. When it comes to the environment, I don't think that you can truly call yourself green if you're still consuming meat. And the reason I say this is that 18% of greenhouse gas emissions come from livestock, from things like methane, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, and ammonia, which causes acid rain. Compared to only 13% of greenhouse gas emissions, which come from all the transportation worldwide, including cars and boats and things like that. Producing meat is also a waste of fossil fuels. It takes 78 calories of fossil fuels to produce 1 calorie of beef, whereas it takes 1 calorie of fossil fuels to produce 1 calorie of soybeans. Also, if you are concerned about world hunger, it is tied in with the environmental issue. Over 70% of the grain that is grown is fed directly to animals. It takes 16 pounds of grain to produce 1 pound of beef. It also takes 441 gallons of water to produce a pound of beef, whereas it takes 25 gallons of water to produce a pound of wheat. My thinking is if you just eliminate the middleman, instead of growing the grain and giving it to the animals and then slaughtering them and then giving the meat to people, if you just fed the grain directly to the people, we could feed far more people. There's also the issue of cruelty. Most people think of farming as still the idyllic family farms from back in the day, milking the cow by hand and such. That's not actually typical today. Most farm animals grow up on factory farms, and chickens live in battery cages where there are tons of them in a small cage stacked by the thousands, so small that they will never even be able to spread their wings. Also, the chicks are debeaked so that they cannot peck each other under the stressful environment. You shouldn't think that free range or organic really means anything when it comes to your meat or your eggs, because all it means is that they have a tiny access to outdoors. It does not mean that they can actually fit out of it. It just means that it's there. Also, they suffer the same slaughter, which is being shackled by their ankles, necks broken, throats slit, defeathered, all that. Cows and pigs will be castrated because, as it turns out, people don't like the taste of male hormones in their meat. Also, cows are branded with searing hot irons and they are dehorned, as well as pigs having their ears cut for identification purposes, and they have their teeth cut down so that they won't attack each other while in their cages. All of these procedures are done without anesthesia, and it's not done by a vet, it's done by just a random worker there just to get it done. Also, don't think that kosher means it's less cruel. It's actually the opposite. When they're slaughtering animals for kosher, they have a ritualistic process that they have to go through. And oftentimes, the animals have to stay alive for this whole process, so they feel much more pain. They are shot in the head, usually they're shot in the head with a captive bolt gun, which should render them unconscious, but oftentimes they miss. The animals are flailing around, they're scared, they miss. And then they're sent to have their necks slit to be bled out, oftentimes still alive and kicking. Hogs will then go to have their hides washed, and they'll be agitated around in this little washer, and then when they come out, they are torched to get their skin off while still alive. Whatever your reason for considering being a vegetarian, you should know that on average, vegetarians save the lives of 50 animals every single year, which can add up to thousands over their lifetime. I'd like to give you a quote from Paul McCartney. If anyone wants to save the planet, all they have to do is just stop eating meat. That's the single most important thing to do. It's staggering when you think about it. Vegetarianism takes care of so many things in one shot: ecology, famine, and cruelty. In closing, I'd like to leave you with a challenge. 1 week, no meat if you're up to it. If you have any concerns about what you can or can't eat, just ask me. If you need to know how to make foods without meat, go ahead and let me know, and I would be more than happy to let you know. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, thank you.